Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode in my Let's Play series. This is Boomer, and as always, I am your host. And today we have been working on tower number, I believe this is number 5 of our in-tower farming. We've done a lot of work since we last talked. Right now, this tower comprises the beetroot and carrot farms. And just like in the wheat and the potato farm, we did 4 layers of each. We've done the same thing here. And right now, Mr. Villager is planting 3 stacks of carrots to get his farm going. I'm going to drop down here just to see if he is. Yep, it is daytime, so he's starting to plant. We need to place one more right there. Okay, and we can kind of watch him. This is layer number 2. I'll kind of follow this down here. So here's layer 2. This guy's already gotten started. Now comes the challenge of where do we go from here? Okay, I see what's going on. Because there are stairs here, he can see through it. He's trying to reach that. So what we'll do is just limit his height of jumping so he won't trample his farm. There we go. All right. Can we make... Neither one of these is a good jump idea. Okay, not bad. So he's been going for some time. I don't have a minecart set up, so I'm not worried about running into it. But that's going to come down here. It'll harvest those 3 just like the other ones. So I want to take you on a quick little tour here on where we're at. So this one was meant to be carrot and beetroot. Where did we start? Let's go... Well, we'll just go around the horn here. In this one, we're going to put mushrooms. I've got a new mushroom farm design that I don't know if we'll do in this episode. Probably not. I don't think I'll have enough time. There are a lot, and I mean a lot, of farms out there, and I've built a number of new designs on my own as well. One of the things that, like I think I've already mentioned in this series before, I'm not worried about making the most efficient farm. I'm building a base for aesthetics and making the farms work within that design. Now, if it just so happens that I can make the farms aesthetically pleasing at the same time, which of course is what you want to do, that's what we're doing. But the mushroom farms are going to go in here, and these will be just to collect small little mushrooms, not the blocks. I'll have another farm for that. And very similar to a cobblestone farm that uses TNT to harvest it, we'll probably set that up, but we're not using dupers. For those of you who don't know, who have not heard me say, I think players, especially YouTubers, and as much as I love a lot of the guys that are on Hermitcraft and on Sidecraft, I am 100% against duping for any circumstance, for any reason whatsoever. To me, there is no legitimate reason why you have to take advantage of a bug in the code. That's not a code design. It's not a game design. Clearly, Mojang has said repeatedly that is not their intention. And so I think YouTubers that use duplicating to build farms and advertise that, I think they do a horrible disservice to the game. I think they set a poor standard as to it's okay to cheat. Is really what you're saying. As much that Mojang has put into this game to create, very creatively, make high-powered farms already, why do we have to exploit glitches in a game? I don't see a reason for it under any circumstances. We're not going to do it, and those of you know, that's my stance. I'm not apologizing for it, and I never will. If you have to cheat in a game to take advantage of something, to what example is that in real life? And to me, the ultimate example of that is the New England Patriots. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick got caught by the NFL not once, not twice, not 3 times, but I believe there's 4 separate instances that they've been caught by the NFL breaking the rules. And they're still in the league. But yet, I fail a drug test and I can be out. I'm breaking the rules. They simply chose to alter the rules of the game for a different purpose, but it was still breaking the rules, trying to gain an advantage, no different than someone who dupes. and takes drugs for performance-enhancing steroids. It's the exact same thing, yet they did not get punished except for one of them. So, to me, that's just the same thing. And I don't distinguish between the two because it's still cheating and still taking advantage of it. So anyways, that's my stance on it. We're moving on. So we've got our potato, wheat, and our seed farm. The reason why we collect the seeds is the server shop does buy seeds, although at a very low price. It's still income on the server. Over here, as you guys have already seen, we have our pumpkin, melon, and sugarcane. We did, like I said, take out a melon layer, so now it's 2 pumpkin. No, I believe, sorry, it's 3 pumpkin, 1 melon, and 3 sugarcane, to the point to where I probably should set up, like I said, they're not the most efficient. They're very efficient farms. Their mango's design, it's a great design. I just don't have anything on the edge catching them from being pushed over by the piston. And honestly, I don't care. Because you know what? And I emptied 32 stacks out of this chest 2 hours ago. So they're way overproductive. I'm probably going to have to shut them off by putting some redstone and a lever up there. Now, I don't think I spent much time talking about this Cactus Farm. Cactus Farms have been around forever and ever, and if by looking up you kind of realize where I've gone with this, you probably know this was a standard Cactus Farm that everybody's had forever. Again, another thing I did kind of, I don't know, we can't really give credit to El Mango for designing the catch basin because I know he got it from somebody else. But this just reduces the loss level by having it only fall one layer because as cactus falls, it doesn't fall perfectly straight. It goes left and right, could hit other cactus and despawn. So this actually is a very insanely efficient version of a cactus farm. Where are we? Okay. So, oh, darn it. You know what? Boomer did a boo-boo. We need to put half slabs in there. Until I get some polished andesite half slabs, we're going to have to just do that, just to see what's in there. Hey, we got some wood slabs in there we can throw away. This chest was, I removed 16 stacks out of here about an hour ago. So it's been producing pretty good. And you know what? I can probably just leave that. No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Because then cactus is going to fall in there. We'll just put these half slabs in there. I guess is as good as anything else. Because oh shoot, and you know what? Of course I did it wrong. Oh, fudge me. Okay. Bingo. There we go. Now the water will still direct in the right direction. Let's take a look what else we've got. And by the way, this Guardian farm, look at that. Look at that. It's insane. It's pumping out so much. And we don't have a ton of people online. I believe there's 4 people online right now. And it's going nuts. All right, so we did show you the Villager Trading Hall. Just kind of bring you up to speed here. I have not gone to the additional levels yet. I've been working on the other farms so that I have enough to start trading for the emeralds. So I'm hoping next episode to bring about a dozen shulkers worth over here and go crazy. What else are we putting in? All right, so we did do a mob farm where we're collecting, and I just put the 6 most common items this farm's pumping out. I am getting raw chicken from the jockeys when you get like a 1 in 256 chance of a chicken spawning with one of them. I think I've had 3 of those fall through so far. Now, I am going to have to go into spectator mode to show you this. So, we are collecting, I did take all this and sell it to the shop. So, we're rotten flesh, gunpowder, bow and arrow, string. These are the less rare drop, more rare drop. Spider eyes only when I manually kill the spiders, of course. But we are going to jump into spectator mode just to bring you up here. So what's happening is that there's and I believe it's another Mango design. Again, he does a great job building most of his designs. I just wish we wouldn't be duping. Where it's going to push all the mobs onto this magma block, and I do have a hopper minecart that runs around. Where is he? He's dropping off stuff right now. It runs around underneath, collects all of that, comes back down, drops it off. This is his standard, and I'll go all the way to the top. Now, this is my timing design, but it's not all that dissimilar from his. So what happens is we have the Etho hopper clock timer going here, where there's items in both. They push back and forth, and what will happen is at one brief moment, there will be no items in the hopper on the right. When that happens, that will turn on this torch, power the repeater. I've got a pulse extender just to make sure that this entire circuit can get lit. I believe it's anything over 6 comparators. A 4-tick pulse cannot keep it powered long enough to get through here. So I've put a pulse extender on just to make sure that the signal can be powered all the way through here before that repeater shuts off. So the repeater will shut off, but the pulse extender over here keeps it going so this one can keep going. What it'll do is it'll push this block over the observer. The observer detects it, fires a pulse, that dispenser shoots out water. This observer picks up that change in a dispenser, fires a pulse, that dispenser fires water, and so on all the way down. Now, you might have noticed this really weird wall pattern. This is done deliberately for a reason. Now again, like I said, I built the farms to fit within the design. Had I built this, I would have built the walls out in every direction 2 blocks further, because what happens in this tight, narrow space is the spiders, well, they were just crawling up the walls. And there currently is no block in the game that the spiders cannot walk up on Pono. I tested extensively. I went and checked out the wiki and everything else, and all the experts, and everyone has said there is not a single block they cannot walk up. There are some that might give them more difficulty than others. It used to be spiders could not walk up walls full of signs. Well, I went into a single-player world in 1.15, built a wall full of signs, and they walked right up it, and a lot of them did. So that is no longer in the game. That has been removed. Whether by design or it's a bug, I don't know. I have not checked out the bug tracker. There is one instance that stops spiders, and that is the wall. By using the wall block, when they get in there, the hitbox of the solid block stops them. Now, because of the narrow path that this presents, they are still able to, when they can reach both this block and this block, they can come up that half slab. But that's it. I have yet to see one rise all the way up, or even more than one. So let me see if we can catch a spider in here. Probably not, because it just fired again. And we may be stopping the spawning of the mobs down below anyways. So that's kind of where that one is. Let me get back in here. We'll get back into single player. Oh, I did it way too high. And yes, of course. Good old Boomer decided to kill himself. All right. So that's the mob farm. And I believe this one is going to be where the netherwort farm is. Yep. I don't need a ton of netherwort. It's probably only going to be 6 layers of 8x8, possibly 9x9, but probably 9x9, simply just because of the way the base is built. But the problem with the 9x9 is water then becomes the challenge on how you set the farm up. Well, technically even 8x8 would. If it were 7x7, one water source, and really one water source could even do a 9x9. What you could do, is just start it in the middle, work its way out, and do the pattern like you would do with the mob farm. 9x9 would flow over, and then you could force it to go through the center, force it to go down out the center and back out. We'll work on that. That's down the road. And I think this is the one that we are, that's currently one we're working on. What I do want to show you though, and I just want to get an idea. Okay. I did make a change. I took out all the stuff out of here. Those farms are going to go out because all the beetroot and wheat farms are in place. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with the iron farms. if I was going to leave them in peaceful and add more of them, or add a zombie to increase their productivity. Now, again, like I said, I'm not building for massive productivity or perfect efficiency. As you guys may or may not be aware, villagers don't like zombies. And when they're feeling threatened, they summon an iron golem to try to ward off the zombie. It takes gossip back and forth between the villagers to reach a certain level to say, oh my gosh, there's a zombie here. We need an iron golem to defend us. So I know Numbomb has an awesome build where he's worked out the efficiency where a zombie in a minecart will hit 5 different iron golem stations, farms, whatever you want to call them. It's a great design. And it's just about as maximum efficiency as you're going to get. This one isn't quite perfect max efficiency because obviously, as you can see, it's a vertical design. I didn't want to undo what I did and rebuild them all and bring all the villagers over. I simply took advantage of what was already in place. And I do plan on building a building to house this because from a aesthetic, I'm not happy with it, obviously. It's an ugly farm. And so I'm going to contain all this within another building. We actually are going to build some type of skyscraper here that's going to go up. I'm working on a design in single player, hopefully within the next 1 or 2 episodes. But while this isn't the maximum perfect efficiency farm, it's pretty darn efficient. I do have a tower that covers, or a platform up there that covers all the rails so that zombie will not get lit on fire. He's been named, so he'll stay there forever. This cycle takes approximately 39 seconds, 38 seconds, something like that. I'd have to go back and retiming. I did change some of the timings. The only one that you can really, with the way I built this, control easiest is the top. He spends about 13 seconds up there, and he spends about 8 to 9 seconds on each level, plus the time that it takes to get up and down. So it's about 40 seconds the cycle spawns. Right now, each one of these per hour is producing, depending on how, if it's low, assuming it's fully loaded, is somewhere between 320 and 350 ingots per hour. Again, I don't need it to be producing 400. I think roughly 400 is the maximum one of these farms can produce. If you hit every 35 seconds perfectly and every villager gossips perfectly, you're producing almost 2 iron golems per minute. It's roughly 105 per hour. If the average iron golem drops 4 iron, it's 420 per hour. I mean, that's the maximum you can theoretically get. So if I'm getting 350, I don't care. I don't need that extra 70 more. I already have about 12 stacks of iron blocks from today alone set aside for the tower for this. I'm going to let this, it's probably about 4 episodes. I'm going to let this run for a while simply because I am going to use a lot of iron, a lot of polished andesite, and a couple other blocks to build this tower out of. Now, I did have to adjust where the zombie stops to make sure it's in line of sight while they're sleeping. It's still not perfect, but I am getting a number of spawns during the evening. Hey, there's one right there. So just to prove it is waking up the villagers. For some reason, I got one villager in each one of these doesn't like to sleep a whole lot, so it's helping with the spawning rates. Again, what do you really, and I know there's 4 or 5 people out there that are absolutely like, yes, I need every single one of them. I know, that's great. I love it. That's nice. So we've really been working on building up farms, and like I said, I want to get that carrot and beetroot farm done. And then I'm going to move on to the mushroom design. It is a unique design that I've created. I haven't seen anything like it from anybody else out there. Not that it's overwhelming. Again, I'm building for within my towers using principles that have been out there for years. So I want to get back to that carrot farm. I'm going to finish up those last 2 layers. And I think what I'm going to do, actually, just for today, guys, is I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up just a little bit early. I know we didn't build a whole lot, and that's okay. Kind of a talky episode, getting some things just kind of showing up where we're at, and talking about some basic principles that, if you live in America, we've got a really tough decision coming up here on November 3rd. And I'm not going to tell you which way to vote. I'm hoping you vote, period. If you're of legal voting age, you need to be involved. You need to get your voice to be said. And with everything that's going on in this country, you can very easily say, well, neither choice is good at the ballot box, and there's legitimate arguments on both sides of the fence. But here's how I look at this. You can take it or leave it. Both sides of the fence are literally both candidates, Trump and Biden. Neither one of them can say that this is not them. They are both 100% polarized on the opposite side of each other. And so no matter who wins, whoever wins this election, our country is going to continue to be polarized and polarized to the opposite of each other. Simply because neither candidate or vice presidential candidate has shown any effort, any attempt to talk, communicate, or work with somebody on the other side of the fence during this campaign. They have yet to agree on any one thing. They can't even agree that human lives matter. Neither one of them has been willing to denounce radical extremists that are killing people in protest. Neither one of them have been professional and dignified. And again, it's real easy to say which is the lesser of two evils. And that's kind of unfortunate that that's the stance that we take in America. We should be setting a higher standard. We should expect more from our leaders. But you know what? We also need to expect more from ourselves. We need to be the change that we want to see in America for the good of all, regardless of where you live, the color of your skin, your income status, your religious status. God has given us the ability to choose. And I'm going to choose to vote. Regardless of the candidate, I'm still going to vote what I believe is the right thing. And I hope you do the same. And with that, we're wrapping this up. I'm going to thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, I ask that you please consider subscribing and turn those notifications on so you know when a new episode comes out. Go with that. That's why I always love to say, when you're playing Minecraft, you gotta go boomer or you gotta go home. We'll see you later.